Time now for your forewarned weather with Cedric Haynes.
All right, let's take a look outside the ABC4 studios right now. What a beautiful afternoon we have out there in place. We've got blue skies, a couple of these high, thin, wispy clouds. Those cirrus clouds beginning to dot the sky out there a little bit, and a little bit of a breeze as well showing up. A temperature right now of 63 degrees currently, so it feels pretty nice out there. And it's only going to get warmer as we go throughout this afternoon. Here's a view from Utah Lake in Linden. I'll tell you, fairly quiet out there on the lake. Yeah, you can still see a little snow off into the distance there on the mountains. But really, with that blue sky, it's going to be a pretty nice afternoon. I expect to see a little more traffic out on the lake as we go into the next couple of days. And we'll make another stop for our friends in Cedar City. Yeah, you got the blue skies showing up out there as well. Again, a few of these high, thin, wispy clouds. But overall, it is a very nice afternoon. Temperatures area-wide, we've got cool spot right now. Cache Valley still at 54 degrees. Otherwise, we're in the low 60s along the Wasatch Front. It is 54 degrees currently in Provo, but we've got mid-50s from Delta to Emory and low 60s from Cedar City to St. George. So as we look at the weather map, again, the radar is quiet. There's no precipitation out there to track, but you'll see that we do have some of these high, thin clouds, those wispy clouds I was showing you, kind of streaming from west to east across the state. So we'll see that continuing as we go throughout the rest of this afternoon, associated with a cold front that's trying to move in. That cold front eventually makes its way in tonight into early Tuesday. It'll try to squeeze out a little extra moisture with it, but it's going to have a hard time giving us any measurable precipitation, but we'll see plenty of cloud cover out there. As we look at futurecast, you'll be able to see this front kind of makes its way into the western half of the state as we get towards the early afternoon hours, but we're quiet. Now, notice as we get into this evening and really tonight, you'll see that there's a chance of a couple of spotty showers, primarily up towards Cache Valley, and we may see an isolated shower or two down towards I-80, potentially as far south as the I-70 corridor overnight. But this is not going to be a big rain event. It will be very hit or miss, and most of us will get missed by this thing. High pressure, a huge area of high pressure builds in beyond that, giving us some improving conditions. Now, tomorrow with that front moving through and the wind shifting out of the north and west, it will be cooler across the north. So we're talking highs only in the mid to upper 60s, but notice the 70s and low 80s down to the south. Yeah, you're not going to feel much of an effect from this front. You can see that with upper level futurecast. Mild conditions across the state today. A little bit of cooling here across the northern half of the Beehive State as we get into your Tuesday and Wednesday. But then look at this. Here comes that huge ridge we've been talking about, bringing us much warmer conditions. I think the warmest day will be on Friday with that southwesterly flow on the backside of high pressure. And then we get a brief cool trough that tries to build in for the second half of the weekend. But the overall theme, well above average temperatures are heading our way, and well below average precipitation, which means it's going to stay dry for the most part through the middle of the month. So we're looking at highs around 66 in Logan, 59 in Park City, 69 in Provo, and our friends in Moab, how about 73 degrees this afternoon? The pollen, medium to high category, is primarily the tree pollen, and it will stay that way in the days to come. So if you take the allergy medications, don't forget before you head out for the day. St. George, upper 70s, 80s, 90s are in the forecast, especially by the end of the week into the weekend. And then we've got a slight cooling trend for Tuesday and Wednesday for the Wasatch Front, but then we're back to near 80 by the time we get towards your Friday.